Last week on OLT, we insulated the Troopy.
What I've got here in front of me is actually sound and heat insulation.
So finally, finished the footwells. All hands on today. I'm going to be finishing off doing the sound one dender the stage one sound ender in the floor pan of the car in the front where we sit. Matt is working on the rain gutters, so he has to cut them to size. The guy we get them from makes them a bit longer because each Troopy is different in size, so he's got to do that first. And then we have a whole mission to try and measure out the rivets and the bolt holes and stuff, which we have a plan for. We're just waiting on the windscreen now, which we dropped into the paint place yesterday to get a new windscreen fitted. So when we get that back, we'll be able to finalise
rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's a lot of waiting on things to be done and parts and stuff when you're doing up cars like this.
Yeah. But it's absolutely freezing in Armadale today. I think at the moment it's 12 degrees, but it feels like 8. And
Summer is over.
Summer is very much over here. And it's only, the 10th of March. Anyway, we best get to it. So these are all of the old rain gutters. You can see where we needed to replace them.
Absolutely shagged. Alright. Oh, I really want to cut these new ones up. It's not going to be a matter of measure twice, cut once. It's going to be a matter of measure 100 times and cut once. Because you only get once. Okay, so I've had a nice slow morning, but I'm just at the point now, I'm just so worried about getting these roof gutters wrong in regards to cutting them to size that I've just sort of resorted to the most safe and slowest way possible. I mean, even at the start, there was just something throwing me out about it, and I had the old roof gutters lined up on the ground, and then I had the new ones on top, and I was like, geez, this one section has, I mean, the new ones are about 30 mil long either side, but this pit's about 150 mil long on one side. I wonder why that is. And all the bolt holes are lining up perfectly, and so it's confusing me. But then I realised that the old roof gutters, there's one section that is so rusted that didn't even exist. It's just disappeared. A bit about this long had just completely and utterly rusted away. So put them back on the old roof and laid it all out, the old gutters on the roof, and then put the new gutters on top and figured out where the error was. So I'll show you what I'm doing now to make sure my tolerances are good. So I've got my roof section here. I'm going up there and make sure the bolt holes line up perfectly. So now what I'm going to do is just bolt that on, just to know that it's done. And then I'm going to keep going to the other side, and I'll show you what I'm doing for that. As you can see, this one isn't quite lining up. So I'm going to take it down to the machinery shed and just going to use the bench grinder there and shave a few mil off, and then come back and then see if it fits. So still about a mil off, back to the machinery shed. There we go, all lined up. Alright, so we're just at that stage now where we're just kind of waiting for things to show up and things to be done elsewhere. I really need that windshield, the glass. I don't know if we've explained. We dropped it off to an auto glass shop in town to get the new glass put in because I smashed the other one getting it out. So, yeah. So once we get that, then I can bolt the windshield back on. Well, I can bolt the window wipers back in. I can put the windshield back on. I can put the dash back in. I can put the top bow cross mount from the rear panel to the windshield in. I can put the rain gutters on. I can put the roof on. I can drill the holes for the rain gutters, for the rivets. And I can take the roof back off and rivet it all back on. But while that's all off, I suppose it's a really good opportunity to think about the roof, because we're going to insulate the roof, so we're going to have to do that before we put it back on. But we also want to do a roof console because I want to get everything away from the dash and sort of the centre of the car where it all was before. It was just a bit messy. And we just want to neaten everything up. So we've got a few nice things to put up there from Oricom, a UHF and a tyre pressure monitoring system. So we want to get that up in the roof console, but I've got to think about it all now while the windscreen and everything's off, because I'm going to run cables through from the roof console down through the windscreen on the inside, so we don't have cables going everywhere. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to use actually the old rain gutters that we took off the car. Some sections are all right, so we're just going to take them off, clean them right up, repaint them, and then use that as sort of the cross strut for the roof console with a bit of 7mm plywood. So that's the plan, but it's just a lot to think about. Try and get your head around before put it all back together. Anyway, we'll get there.
What have you got happening over here?
So, it's the window wiper assembly. It's the arms. We screwed it all back in yesterday, and one of them was seized. The motor's working, which is good and everything. So, just soaked it in diesel overnight. Old trick Holly's old man told us to do. So we'll see if that has worked. Borrowed a bit of diesel from the sub tank that was still there.
Came out clean though, which was good.
Yeah. Okay, so that spins like that. So and that doesn't spin. Our window wiper was jammed. It had seized up just a couple of weeks out of the car, sitting in a shed, and it seized up. And just had a bit of a learning curve, just getting it out. Well, so this is the window wiper spindle, and I've just pulled this out. So this shaft's supposed to be able to run freely inside. It wasn't at all, it was jammed. And you can see why, it's just so crusty in there. There's no grease or anything. But yeah, I just jumped on YouTube, thank God for YouTube, and learnt how to do that and take it apart and dismantle it. There's a few little components, retaining ring and stuff that I had to get out. We'll clean it right up, pack it with a little bit of grease, and she should be good to go. All right, got some grease. Repacking it, and we'll slip it back together.
Hopefully it works.
Grease, gets everywhere. All right,
Does it move?
That looks pretty good to me. So now that arm can move like that. And wipe our windows when it rains. Or more importantly, just pass a friggin' blue slip. All right, after a lot of messing around for such a small component, hopefully it all moves.
lot of messing around.
Yeah, it's just it's a bit hard just lining it all up, and because you've got to have this bit lined up with that bit to make sure this bit fits, and to be honest, the fiberglass windscreen that we got, it's just everything's just a little bit out. I don't think whoever was throwing these fiberglass panels was as precise as the Japanese workers in the Toyota factory in 1981, but it's good. It's a lot better than that steel one in regards to rust, because fiberglass doesn't rust. So, but it looks good, it looks fine, and it's all in. The window wipers work, and new glass is in. But yeah, the car's back together. It's literally the only thing that needs to go back together now is the roof. And once the roof is done, I can bolt the roof on.
And we're done.
And we're done.
Wow.
Just got to wire these blinkers back up, and then take it to an auto elec, and let's get these starting issues sorted. And then a final check over, and then let's stick it up blue slip.
Yeah.
I really hope we can get a blue slip. I really hope there's nothing
Major.
hugely wrong. They're just like, nah, you're gonna need to do this and that. That'd be a bit soul destroying, but I'm also mentally prepared for it.
So it's 6:15 at the moment. We're going to drill some rivet holes for the roof.
Yeah, so I bolted the rain gutters on with the rubber in between, and now we put the roof on just so I know like exactly where it's all going to be. It's a bit of a mission getting it all on, and then we're going to have to take it all off, paint it, and do all that.
Yeah.
And then put it all back on. But once, I have to go around and drill through all the previous rivet holes that are in the roof through into the new rain gutters. So, but once that's all done, it's all painted up, we flip the roof over, and we've got some insulation from car builders for the roof, some 6mm, I believe it is, closed cell foam roof insulation, so that's unreal. So we're going to put that in, and then we've actually got some light grey felt that we're going to put on top of that. We're going to have to get the ARB bar on with the Oricon UHF. Still working on tyres, but we've got a tyre pressure monitoring system. We want to put all the comms and the tyre pressure monitoring system up in a custom roof console, so messing around with all that. So there's a million other things to do, but at least the car's like back together, and we can at least start thinking about blue slips and what we need to do for that. All right.
Let's get drilling. So Matt has just cut holes with the drill press on the rain gutters. I'm just going to clean them with wax and grease remover, and then spray the holes with etch primer because there's some raw steel. What time is it now? 7:03, but at least we've got a pretty nice sunset this afternoon. It's too bad we're working in the shed.
All right, hello everybody. So today we've got the last sort of thing we need to do for the installation for the Troopy. We've had this package show up. This is, I believe it's 6mm closed cell foam, roof insulation. So it's actually got a sticky surface on it, so you just peel that cover off and you can stick it down. The pack comes with some adhesive spray, so we're probably going to lay a bit of that down and then put the foam on top of that just for a bit of extra adhesion. And then after that, we're going to actually go over it with a felt, just a light grey felt, just because we kind of want just like a nice light grey roof. That foam's black, just to sort of make the car feel a bit more open, a bit more homely. But I think this insulation is going to be really good, obviously for road noise, probably wind noise, and when we've got the roof rack on, that's going to create a bit of noise, so it'll help with that. But also it's just going to help with keeping the car warm and cool in different kinds of weather, which is going to be really good because, I mean, we're going to be sleeping inside it, we're going to be living inside of it essentially with our bench top and our seat and everything. So I think it's really going to help with that. So yeah, we'll put it all on and then we can get the roof gutters on and bolt this roof on. Alright, so I've just done a quick wax and grease remove to clean the roof. And yeah, now we're going to size it up and spray a bit of glue on and then peel the sticky side off. And we're just going to use the roller to put it on nice and firm.
And bond it.
And bond it. Alright, so that closed cell foam insulation is now stuck onto the roof. Really sticks with the spray adhesive. We're not going to win any precision application awards, that's for sure. A bit of a hack job, but it's on there, it's insulated. It doesn't have to look too pretty because now we're going to put the felt on over the top, which does have to look pretty. So, alright, let's do that properly. Alright, so now that we've got the insulation and the felt on the roof, I'm going to run a bead of silicone around one little edge at a time where the roof gutter goes, and then we're going to flip the roof over and we'll rivet the gutters on. So, see how we go, because I haven't really riveted much before. So, we'll do 130 of them. So we've finished the riveting, all the rain gutters are on. Definitely not our best work. Could have been a bit neater, but it'll definitely work, and it's sealed with Celastic and stuff, so hopefully it just bolts on really nicely. We're still waiting for one more roof piece, the piece which sort of goes in between the roof and the windshield surround, so we're waiting on that to come in the mail. So when that comes, then the roof can go on, and the car is sort of officially back together. So then we can start worrying about everything else. Little job for now. We're gonna put on our OEM brand new badges, the retro ones. So pretty excited to put these on. I think they're one of the coolest things about the cars, these old badges. And we actually lashed out and got proper OEM Toyota genuine from Japan. So expensive, but pretty. Bling bling. It's the little things that make it, you know?
Okay, so my job at the moment is going to be making some magnetic removable fly screens for inside the Troopy. So initially we were going to try and put some wire mesh on the outside of the windows, but that would require Matt to remove the rubbers, put it in, cut it all up, which would be a lot more work. These are removable and pretty easy to make. We just bought this fly screen mesh from Bunnings, and then some super glue and this magnetic strip, self-adhesive magnetic strip from Lincraft. You can also get it from Spotlight or wherever. So I'm gonna measure up the windows and then get cracking with that.
Alright, now is as good a time as any, I suppose, to put the ARB bull bar on. So yeah, pretty excited to get this on and see what it looks like. right, today's the day. We're going to put the roof on. We've got that roof part in the mail that we needed. It's all bolted on, so I've run a bead of silicone around the edge, put the roof rubber back on, another bead of silicone on top of that. Rain gutters are going to go on top, and hopefully it'll all just bolt on nicely, but I have a feeling it's just going to be a bit of jiggling around, just as with the entire car, lining everything up. So yeah, this is the last piece of the puzzle really, and then that's the car back together, and it's just sort of getting accessories and stuff like that on. Finishing putting this bull bar on. Yeah, but it'll be back together today. So exciting times. We've got some spotlights for the car. Now, these here are the Type X Pro from Steady.
Thanks for watching, guys. We've realised that 46% of our viewers who watch this aren't subscribed, so please consider doing that if you want to follow along with the adventure. Cheers.
7 weeks after we drove into this shed, this thing was looking like an absolute piece of junk.